Hello students, very good morning to all. Hope you are doing well. So students, basically we have started the chapter which we call as force and pressure, and in our previous video lecture we have seen the introduction portion of the chapter. Okay, so I hope you have read the introduction portion and you have understood the things. Now today we are going to see, students, this portion, that force can change the speed of an object. Okay, this thing we are going to discuss. Okay, just have a look. That these things also we have discussed in our previous classes, that resultant of force, how to calculate the resultant of force, or how do we find that whether the force is you can say it will add or it will subtract with each other, what are the conditions. Okay, so today basically we are going to discuss the effects of forces. So what are the effect of forces? Very important part. Okay, effect of forces. Okay, now this effect of forces, just have a look. We use force to perform various activities. Okay, though we can't see it, its effects can be seen. Okay, so let us find out the effects one by one. Force can change the speed of an object. So an activity is there. So let us discuss the activity. What is the activity? This activity tells that take a rubber ball and place it on a plane surface such as a tabletop or a concrete floor. So what we have to do? We have to take a rubber ball, okay, and place the rubber ball on a plane surface. Okay, plane surface means you can take a plane surface as tabletop, or you can take a concrete floor, whatever is available. Okay, now push the ball gently along the level surface. So what will happen if we do the same thing? What will happen? Does the ball move? And if you push the ball again while it is still moving, then what will happen? Does the speed of the ball increase or decrease? So the thing is that if you perform this activity, if you do this activity, then you will find out that obviously the ball will move, and if you kick the ball, push the ball again while it is moving, then obviously the speed will increase. Now place your palm in front of the moving ball and remove your palm as soon as the ball moving or the ball touches it. Okay, now does the speed of the ball increase or decrease? So there are few things which you have to do it by yourself. The activity is quite familiar, it is quite easy activity which you can perform at your home very easily. Okay, so just try this activity, okay, and tell me the result of it on our Google Meet classes. Okay, now next thing, just have a look. Let us recall some more situations. For example, in a football game, a player applies force on the ball while taking a penalty kick. Okay, so basically a player applies force on the football, okay, while taking a penalty kick. Initially the ball is at rest, okay, so its speed is 0. We can say if the ball is rest, that means the speed is 0. Now the force applied by the player makes the ball move towards the goal. Okay, so now same thing, if the pin is there, if I hit the pin, what will happen? It will start moving. I hit the pin, that means I am putting a force on it. Okay, and the goalkeeper runs or jumps up to save the goal. Okay, so by this action the goalkeeper applies force on the moving ball. The force applied by him can stop the ball and the goal can be saved. Okay, when he stops the ball, its speed decreases to 0. Okay, that means we can apply a force by increase the speed or by decrease the speed also. Now from this observation we can conclude that a force applied on an object may change its speed. Okay, that means it can increase its speed, it can decrease its speed. Okay, now if the force applied on the object is in the direction of the motion, it increases the speed of the object. Okay, now if the force applied, that means if the ball is moving in this direction and if we apply the force in this direction, then what will happen? It will increase its motion. And if the opposite thing happens, that means if the ball is moving in this direction and we apply force in this direction, then it will decrease the direction, okay, or decrease the speed of the motion. So that is the thing, very simple thing, very easy thing. Hope you have understood. Okay. Now let us discuss the next thing, that force can change the direction of motion of a moving object. This is the second effect of force. Okay. So one more activity is there. So let us discuss this activity. So this activity tells that take a ball and place it on a plane surface and push the ball to make it move. Okay. That means same thing that we have done previously. Now place a book in its path. Now does the ball continue to move in the same direction after it strikes the book? Now just have a look at the picture. The picture says that the ball is moving in this direction. Okay. We have applied some amount of force, you can call it F1. Okay. So we have applied F1 force and the ball is moving in this direction. Now if I put my palm like this, okay, in front of the ball, then what will happen? Does the ball will move? Okay, and just have a look this, that the ball is moving in this direction and we have placed a metal rod. So after hitting the rod, the ball changes its direction. Okay, or the ball will change its direction. So that's why we can call it that force can change the direction of motion, okay, of a moving object. If an object is moving in a direction, so a force can be able to change the direction of that moving object. Okay. Okay. So again try to obstruct the moving ball by placing the book in such a manner that it makes different angles. Okay. So these things we have already discussed. So through this activity, what we can conclude or what we can observe? So basically through this activity we observed that the direction of the ball changed with the change in the placement of the book. Okay. Now let us consider the game of volleyball to understand it better. Now in the game of volleyball, what will happen? Players often change the direction of moving ball by pushing it to their teammates. Thus we can say force can change the direction of motion of a moving object. Obviously in the previous examples also we have seen that the force can change the direction of a moving object. Let me show you. The ball is moving towards this direction. Sorry. The ball is moving towards this direction. Now after hitting this metal rod, that means we have applied a force on it. So it will change its direction towards this. Okay. So a force can also change the direction of an object. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you. Now the next thing is that a change in either the speed of an object or its direction of motion or both. Very important term, that this change can be or either in the speed of an object, it can change the speed of the object, it can change the direction of the object, or it can change both. Okay. So this line is very important. Now it is described as the change in its state of motion. Okay. State of motion means it can change the speed, it can change the direction, it can change both the things. Okay. So basically a force may bring change in the state of motion of an object. So this is our general term or general conclusion, you can say that a force may bring change in the state of motion of an object. However, sometimes application of force does not affect the same state or does not affect the state of motion in an object. Now exception is everywhere. So in this case also exception is there. What is the exception? Let us take an example. When you push a wall or try to move very heavy box where the force applied is not sufficient to cause the movement. Okay. Now if I push this you can say board. Okay. If I push this board, then what will happen? Does the board will move? Obviously not, because the force that I apply here is not sufficient to move this board. Okay. So in that case I am applying a force but there is no change. Okay. So these are few quite interesting things of forces. I hope you can correlate the things. Okay. So try to correlate the things with your daily work. Now let us discuss the next thing, which you can say force can change the shape of an object. This is also very important thing. What happens when you apply force of an inflated balloon by pressing in between your palms, or the shape of a rubber band when you pull it? So what will happen? Does the shape of the ball of dough changes when it rolled to make a chapati? So all these examples tells us that if we apply a force on something, obviously it will change the shape of the object, but not in every case. Okay. Now next thing, in all these activities the application of force on an object changes its shape. Okay. Just have a look. On the basis of these activities, we can conclude that a force may make an object move from rest, change the speed of moving an object, okay, change the direction of motion of an object, bring about a change in the shape of an object, and cause of you can say cause some or all of this effect. Okay, so these are the effect basically. These are nothing but the effect of forces. Okay, so if we apply some forces on any particles, then these effects we might have seen. Okay, so this is all about our effect of forces. Now we are going to discuss some types of forces. Okay, so basically forces are two types, students. Let me discuss you that forces are basically two types. Contact forces. First one is that contact forces. So let us first discuss all about our contact forces, then we will move to the next type of force. Contact force means you can find out by its name that forces that are act only when two objects are contact with each other, then they are called as contact forces. Okay. Now contact forces are again classified into the following types. So what are the following types? Contact forces, we can divide contact forces into few categories, such as you can say muscular force, frictional force. Okay. So what is muscular force? Muscular force means the force resulting due to the action of muscle is known as muscular force. For example, a child moving a rubber tire with a stick. Okay, you can see here this picture, a child moving a rubber tire with a stick. Okay, we lift our school bags by applying force on it. Okay, such as if this is the pen. Okay, so I am holding the pen like this, that means I am applying some amount of force on the pen. Okay, so this type of forces you can call it as muscular forces. Now the force used to perform these activities extracted by our muscle. Okay, so these forces extracted by our muscles. Okay, next thing is that frictional force. Now you are quite familiar with these forces, that when we stop pedaling a bicycle, it gradually slows down and finally stops. Obviously, a car or a scooter also comes to rest once its engine is switched off. So this happens because of a force called friction. Okay, so friction force is everywhere. It is a force which is responsible for changing the state of motion of object. Okay, so it is the force of friction between the surface of a ball and the ground that brings the moving ball to rest. Okay, if the ball is moving, let us say that the ball is moving in this direction. Now what will happen? After moving a certain distance, the ball will stop, because in the opposite side of the motion always a force acts, which force we call it as friction. Okay, so the friction force is everywhere. Okay, now same thing happens if the cycle is moving in this direction, then friction force will act on the opposite direction. Always friction force will act on the opposite direction of motion. Okay. Okay, now let us discuss the next portion. So this is all about our friction. Now one or two things are still left, that you can say that the force of friction always act on all the moving objects and its direction is always opposite to the direction of motion. Okay, that thing we have already discussed. Okay, that the direction of friction force will always opposite to the direction of motion. Okay. Okay. Now few questions are there. What you have to do? You have to solve the questions. Actually they are not questions, these are true false. You have to say whether these statements are true or false. Now few non-contact forces are there. What are our non-contact forces? Non-contact forces means that forces which act on the bodies which are not contact are known as, that means which are not in contact. Okay, they are not in contact, that forces we can call it as contact, non-contact forces. Now non-contact force also we can categorize into few types. What are the few types? Such as our magnetic force. Okay, magnetic force means, all of you might have seen magnets. Okay, if we just find out, or if we just place the same pole of two magnets, then what will happen? They will attract with each other. And if we place the different poles of a magnet, sorry, same pole if we place, then they will repel each other, and opposite poles if we place, they will attract each other. Okay, these are the properties of a magnet. So through the activity, let us try to understand. Just have a look, that take a pair of bar magnets. Okay, place one of the magnets over 3 pencils. Bring one end of the other magnet near the end of the magnet placed to the pencils. Now what will happen? Make sure that the two magnets do not touch each other. Now observe what happened. Okay, that means the conclusion of this activity is that the very important property of a magnet, that same pole of the magnets always repel each other and opposite poles of the magnet always attract each other. Okay, so this is the activity, or this is a magnetic force which is a non-contact force. Okay. Okay. Now second one is our electrostatic force. What is electrostatic force? So non-contact force, we have discussed one thing. Now in the case of non-contact force, two forces are there, electrostatic force and gravitational force. So let us discuss electrostatic force. So in the case of electrostatic force, what is there? In electrostatic force, if you take a plastic straw and cut it into two equal pieces and suspend one of the pieces from the edges of the table, and with the help of the piece of thread, now what will happen? So what we are doing, we just take a plastic straw and cut it into equal pieces, and we just suspend the pieces of the edges of the table with the help of piece of thread. Okay. Now hold the other pieces of straw in your hand and rub its free end with a sheet of paper, and bring this rubbed edge of the straw near the suspended straw. Now take care of the two pieces, do not touch each other, and observe what happens. What you will see? Next, rub the free ends of the suspended pieces of the straw with a sheet of paper. Again bring the piece of straw rubbed, you can say earlier, with the paper. Okay. Actually you will observe that the two straws will attract each other. Okay. Now the same thing happens if you, I think this activity all of you have done, that if you rub, if you take few papers, cut papers, if you rub your pen, your head like this in your hair, and you just make the pen, put the pen in front of the papers, then the pen will attract the paper. This is all because of the electrostatic forces. Okay. So you will observe that the suspended piece of straw get attracted towards the rubbed straw. Okay. But it gets repelled after it is rubbed with paper. This is because when a straw is rubbed with a sheet of paper, it acquires some electrostatic charge. Okay. Electrostatic charge you will read in higher classes, but for your knowledge, you just know this thing, remember this thing, that this is a non-contact force. Okay. Okay, so this is all about our electrostatic force. So the force extended by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body is known as electrostatic force. So the definition of electrostatic force is also there. And last is gravitational force and gravity. So all of you have known that the application of gravitation or gravity on an object is in the form of force, that is the force exerted by the two bodies on each other, whether large or small, is known as gravitational force. Okay. So the force exerted by the earth on any object, we call it as gravity. Okay. And this force is called force of gravity. So if I throw this pen upside, so it will comes down after a certain interval of time. So this force we call it as force of gravity. So what we have learned today? We have learnt about our contact forces and non-contact forces. Now this pressure we will discuss in our next video lecture. Okay. Thank you all.